He formed an organization called www.thewaterforall.com that was hacked and shut down, is still shut down today. And he's a terrific guy and a wonderful speaker. Piedad, please join us.
Well, I was going to say good morning, but good afternoon to all of you. What we learned today is pretty scary. Unfortunately, some of us already live in that nightmare. It sounds like it's a nightmare coming up, but some of us already live in that. In 1982, when I was just a farm worker running a small company back then, I was only 18 years old. And it's the first time they turned the pumps off in our farm, the farm that I was working for. So we organized, we went to Sacramento. That was during the Ronald Reagan administration. We got the water back. By the time we got the water back, they only give us enough to leave some water for the permanent crops. In that time, what we were growing was almonds, pistachios, and grapes, and all the other diversified crops, which that was broccoli, garlic, onions, tomatoes, peppers, and we let all those crops die. In that time, I was just an employee of the company. In 1992, when they went the second time to turn the pumps or to take the water away from the farmers, then I was a farmer. I was already farming my own ranch. And it was very strange because everybody in the water district see that we were leasing pipe to irrigate. They see us planting the cotton, planting the broccoli, planting the tomatoes, planting everything what we were planting. And the day that we got ready to start the water, they went and put locks in the turnouts where we get the water from the state. So we went and asked them, why you turn the water off? This time we already pay for our water. It's not that, we all pay for the water for the whole year. We already put our investment in the ground. We already have, our cotton was already just get ready to keep fertilizer and keep the water going and get ready for harvest. Well, they put a lot of us in the line of bankruptcy back then. So we continued fighting. We went to Sacramento. We rallied. We took people to rally out there. Then we came to the river settlement agreement in 1992 when they decided to leave 30% for the fish and wildlife. We understand we believe. We understand that we all have to kind of work together. But they told us that we have to survive with 70% and we have to figure out how we're going to do it, change the way we irrigate. So we went to more drip irrigation, more ways to save and conserve water. In 2007, same thing happened to me again. My corn, my cotton, everything was getting ready to go when they came and turned my water off again. And they said, you're getting 0% again. And that time, that was not just for the row crops. That was for permanent crops and everything across the board. So they only leave us with 30% to operate the fields that we already got planted. But this time, we already got the loans from the bank. We already owed money to the banks. And we already, because a lot of people think because we farmers, we have a lot of money. No, we are like any other industry. We go to the bank, we put our budget, we tell them what money we need in order for us to come and farm. Well, when they went and did that, they put a lot of us in the line again. I mean, I'm talking about a few years later, 10 years later. But when that happened, and you start seeing big companies going under, because in this time, it's not just for the row crop. This is for the permanent crops and everybody across the board, 30%. Who can farm with 30% when you already got everything planted? If you get a notice before, maybe you can change your planting in a different way or leave some fields without planting because you know you're not going to have the water, and don't borrow the money you need to farm those fields. But unfortunately, some of those fields, we're still making payments, some of the ground, we're still making payments to the bank. It's not like we have the money there, we bought the property. No, we're still making payments to the bank. We have an obligations because in our contract, when we bought the land, they said that we got a right of so much water per acre a year. So these rights, they've been taken from the federal government. When we went out there and started seeing that we have to go lay off employees that we worked together for the last 20 or 30 years, farmers that have farm workers there living in the ranch or working in the ranch for second and third generations, families. We all think, well, it's just the farm workers. the ones that losing the job. And then they start thinking, well, is the rich farmer losing his farm? No, we haven't seen something that this is, the Central Valley is the heart of the agriculture worldwide. We produce not just for California, we produce for a big part of the country and big part of the world. It's one of the precious lands in earth that we can farm almost anything. So when they figure they can put us out of business and everything what I learned today, everything what I see, I can see where we're coming from. Unfortunately, we are in the bottom of the trader, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to share our lives, and that's how I feel like they're trading our lives, because they've been trading everything what we work for all our lives. When you start seeing these farmers going and laying off employees, they kind of grew up together with a lot of these employees, because they grew up in the same farm with now the owner was the son or the grandson of the original owner, so they grew up together. They didn't even have the face to go and tell them, I have no more work for you. I'm going to have to let you off. Some of these employees that work for 20, 30, even 40 years on the same farm, can you imagine to go and tell them you're not going to have a job no more because the federal government decide to take our water out, and we still have to pay for the water no matter what, if you receive it or not. Like going to the store and give them $100 and they give you whatever they want, or if they want to give you something, because today we got 0% of water delivery in the Central Valley. 0%, because now they can claim we got a drought. But this is not the only year that we've been taking our water away from us. We've been fighting this since 1982. And this is not fair, because our families, our state, really survive from the agriculture. The agriculture is the engine of the economy in the state. The agriculture is the engine of the economy of the state, because what we can see is that the farmers, is probably the ones that produce the food. The farmer is the one that employ these people, and these people go back to spend in the liquor store and the car dealer and in any other industry. So they kind of keep our industry going. There's something that a lot of us don't see. When I start seeing some of these people going to the food lines, when the ex-governor and some of the elected officials start thinking that they're going to go feed us with food, they went and bought food from the food banks, and you should see those lines, and you see the face of those people. When they were there, they put a hat and they put their face down. This is foremen and supervisors, ranch managers. They used to produce the food for this country. Now they are in a food line trying to get a little bag of food, and they have to stand in line for 4 or 5 hours. You should see the kids crying in there, some of these people, and you know, that's not what we want. We want to be in the line for work like the way we used to be. We don't want to be in the line for food or in the line for unemployment. We got cities in our area where the unemployment went up to 46%. The rate of unemployment in Mendota, the city of Mendota, 46% our unemployment rate, when that was the heart of the agriculture. That's where we have the #1 cantaloupe in the world, the #1 cantaloupe, the favorite in the cantaloupe. That's why they call them the city of the cantaloupe. Secondly, was Costa Rica. So we have the #1 medal. They said this is the best land to grow the cantaloupes. Almonds, pistachios, broccoli, cauliflowers, anything that we see on our table is being taken from us. When we see those families crying because they lost their job, when we see these farmers crying because they lost everything what they have for a second and third generation, that's very painful, especially when you know this is created by our own elected officials, people that we put in there to represent us, not to come out and destroy our families. When we see that these people come and just act like they own the country, like they can come to your property anytime. I mean, my family, everybody around our family, we got a special agent from the IRS since when I started organizing these marches, since when I came to be a leader, a special agent for the IRS. And I got a special agent from the Department of Labor. And we got a special agent from the Border Equalization. That's why we said that the water for all is being investigated, because they want to know where the funds coming from. The funds didn't came from anybody. It came from people like you and from my pocket, because we got to stand up and say, this is enough. Our lives being in the line. Thank you. It's really hard to believe that we are in the United States of America. You know, the country where I born, where I came from, when I crossed the border when I was 14 years old, they used to do that, but they probably still do that. Cuba, some other countries, they still do that. They don't want to know what you're doing, everything what you've been doing. But when we wake up in the morning, I'm still thinking, I tell my wife every morning, I think this is a nightmare. I think this is a nightmare, because this is not United States. This is not the dream. They always say, the American dream. The American dream is gone. We not living the American dream. We live in a nightmare. And that's not fair, because this is people that we elect. When these people are campaigning and they come to grab your money for the contribution, they say, I'm going to produce jobs. I'm going to promote education. I'm going to promote health. Where is all that? The soon they get, it's like disease. The soon they get to the White House, or the soon they get to the state capitol, they forget everything, who we are and what we are. This is not fair, because when they start hitting the education, the health, and the agriculture, any country is going to go down. And we know that. So some of us here, we can say, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to start screaming. Yeah, I have been doing that for a long time. But you know what? I lost most of my companies already. Because one of the days, I got 11 investigators investigating my crews, whatever they were harvesting, just in my company. Into when they find 5 guys, they move from one field to the other, and they stop and get the break before they put the shade and put the water in the field, they put a stop order in the whole company. I mean, I'm talking about 6,700 employees stopped the next day because these officers follow my guys, and they decide to take the 3 o'clock break, 10 minutes, and then when they finish the break, they got the shade and they start putting everything. He came and started harassing the guy that was in charge in there until when they give me the court order. So after that, IRS, French Tax Board, the state, Labor Commission, the Department of Labor, he called my wife anytime he's in the area. I'm going to come and look some records, Gracie. The guy from the IRS session, I want to know what your cousin's doing, why he opened a company. I mean, we got a personal investigator with us in our family. Maybe, unfortunately, some of those investigators, I'm paying for it and you paying for it, but how long I can survive fighting these people back, because they're using you guys' money to come and attack me and attack every one of you. Me, if I'm going to defend myself, I have to pull money to pay my lawyer to do that. It's just not fair. It's not fair, because they suck the money from you for legal fees into when they put you out of business. And that's what they're trying to do. So we need to stand up today, and we need to let them know that we need to find more leaders. We need to have more people on our board, more organizations, all other organizations. We got to unite. We got to get together, because that's exactly what they did. They started with 25 people. Look where they are. They're destroying our country. They're destroying our families. Why we cannot get together and go and told our elected officials that we elect one day, you're not going to represent me no more, because I'm voting you out. We got the 4, thank you. We got the 4 powerful people in Washington, Pelosi, Boxer, Feinstein, and George Miller. All those 4 people come from the north, our state, but they've been running our country for a long time. Because for a long time, they run our Congress and they run our Senate. They're blaming the pumps, because the pumps, they were killing the fish. That's why they turned the pumps off. That's the message that we get. They went to the judge, and somebody earlier said here, yeah, the judge can do anything, and they can just go any way he wants. So a judge went and put a court order to stop the pumps, because they were killing the delta smelt, the fish, the delta smelt. That's not the reality. What is killing the fish is all those millions and millions and millions of sewage they're dumping from all the north into the delta, they infecting the delta, and that's the ones they killing our fish. It's not the pumps. And the problem here is they're not just killing the fish. We got almost 24 million or millions or hundreds of people consuming that water, especially here in LA, because that water is coming to here. So we don't do nothing about it to stop Pelosi, Boxer, Feinstein, and Miller to stop dumping everything what they dumping out there. We never going to stop. We never going to stop. This is the problem. They don't care what is going to destroy. I was looking in the news the other day when the little kid went, he was urinating in one of the reservoirs. He's probably going to go to prison. You know, he's probably going to go through a lot. Why nobody haven't been arrested in the Delta? Because they're dumping millions and millions. That's criminal. Our oldest son died from a brain tumor, and that's the water we used to consume when we used to live in Avenel. But next to him in the Bali Children's Hospital, we see hundreds of kids with the same problem: tumor, brain tumors, cancer, stomach disease, asthma, valley fever. And they said because we live in the agriculture zone. That's not true. Because if you start doing all the investigations, that's the water we use. And a lot of people said, I don't drink that water. Yeah, you don't drink that water. The problem is you washing your clothes with it, you taking shower with it, so we are consuming that water. So why we have not stopped that and turn the right pumps off? Don't turn the pumps on, the ones they feed the rural, big part of the country. Turn the pumps off, the ones that infecting our beautiful and precious water that's coming through the Delta. That's what we need to do. So, I know my time is very limited, but one of the things that we need to do, are we scared? I'm not scared because in 2009, when we closed the Capitol, a lot of you guys didn't know, we closed the Capitol because we put our tractors around the Capitol and trucks around the Capitol. And they told me I was going to get shot right there. I was going to get killed. I was going to end up in prison. And I thank God and all of you guys that we are here today. So don't be afraid to speak up. But the problem we have right now, yeah, we're running out of money, which that's what these people want. I want to thank you, all of you, for your time. God bless you guys, and God bless America. Thank you.